If your F-150 feels lazy, rough, or kind of half dead, I've got good news. Most of the time, that engine is not worn out. It's dirty, it's restricted, it's overdue on something, or it's running on bad data nobody ever reset. I've had F-150s roll into my shop feeling completely flat, and leave the same day idling smooth and pulling hard again. And a bunch of this stuff you can do yourself in your own driveway for 10 or 20 bucks. And it'll save you from repair bills that run $2, $3, even $4,000. So today I'm walking you through exactly what I do. 10 things to make a Ford F-150 run like new again. Quick note, always check your owner's manual for your specific truck. Now let's get into it. Step 1. Get the oil right first. Before anything else, the oil. Because oil is the foundation of this entire engine. Your cam phasers, your turbo bearings, your timing chain tensioners, all of it runs on oil pressure and oil quality. When the oil's wrong, everything downstream wears out way faster than you'd think. So here's the rule. On a 3.5 or 2.7 EcoBoost, change it every 5,000 miles with full synthetic. No matter what the oil life monitor says. These engines run hot, they run under boost, and the turbos are the first thing to suffer when oil breaks down. Dirty oil running through a hot turbo bearing is exactly how a simple oil change turns into a $2,500 repair. The 5.0 Coyote's a little more forgiving, but same idea. Real-world truck use burns through oil faster than the factory schedule planned for. And the filter matters as much as the oil. A cheap filter that collapses on startup starves your engine for the first few seconds of every cold start. And those dry starts add up. Use a Motorcraft filter. When you drain the old oil, look at the plug for metal and smell the dipstick. Burnt means heat damage, gas smell means fuel dilution worth checking on an EcoBoost. Step 2. Air filter, plus clean the MAF sensor. F-150 owners destroy air filters fast. Dusty roads, job sites, hauling, so replace it every 15 to 20,000 miles, sooner if you're in dirt a lot. Easy test. Hold it up to the light, can't see through it, your engine's fighting for air every single mile. But here's the part nobody thinks about. The MAF sensor sitting right behind that filter. When it gets coated in dust and oil vapor, it straight up lies to your computer about how much air is coming in. So the ECU runs the wrong fuel mix, and you get hesitation, sluggish throttle, rough idle, and sometimes no check engine light at all. The truck just feels slow and you have no idea why. The fix is stupid easy. Grab MAF cleaner from any parts store, 10 bucks. Lightly spray the sensor wires, don't touch the element, let it air dry. $10, 10 minutes. If that sluggishness disappears, you just saved yourself a diagnostic fee at the shop. If you have watched till here, then please subscribe and help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Step 3. Clean the throttle body plus idle relearn. Carbon builds up around the throttle plate over time, and that ring of gunk makes the plate stick slightly. The computer tries to compensate, and the result is a hunting idle, stumbling at stoplights, and a truck that feels vague and slow in traffic. Here's the fix, and it costs nothing but a rag. Pull the intake hose, hold the plate open gently, and wipe the bore out with throttle body cleaner and a lint-free cloth. Do not spray cleaner into any sensors. A few wipes, and you'll literally see all the junk that's been collecting in there. Then, and this part matters, do the idle relearn. Let the engine warm up fully. Then let it idle 10 minutes with nothing running. Then kick the AC on and let it stabilize another 10. The computer recalibrates the idle and it drops right back in smooth and steady. 0 parts, immediate improvement and stop and go. Step 4. Spark plugs plus ignition. A tired spark plug makes a healthy engine feel completely worn out. And on the EcoBoost, plugs wear faster than people expect. That turbocharged combustion is just harder on the electrodes. The gap grows, the electrode erodes, and what used to fire clean under boost starts misfiring under load. You might not get a code yet, but you feel it. Hesitation when you accelerate, roughness at highway speed, a steady little drop in fuel economy. Replace them at 60,000 miles on the EcoBoost. Use Motorcraft plugs, correct heat range. Off-brand is not a gamble worth taking here. And let me tell you a quick story. A 2015 F-150 with the 5.0 came into my shop completely flat. No codes, no lights. 2 plugs were gapped nearly double what they should have been. New Motorcraft set across all 8 cylinders, and the owner said it hadn't felt that good since the day he bought it. And here's why you don't put this off. Plugs run about 20 bucks a cylinder. The catalytic converter that prolonged misfires destroy? About $1,200. While you're in there, check the coil boots too. Cracked ones arc voltage to the head instead of the plug. Little dielectric grease on reinstall and you're good. Step 5 is something almost no F-150 owner has ever thought about. And on the EcoBoost, it's silently gunking up your engine right now. Step 5. Stop oil vapor contamination, PCV. This one's big on the 3.5 and 2.7 EcoBoost, and almost nobody thinks about it. Your PCV system routes crankcase blow-by gases back into the intake to burn off. But on a turbo EcoBoost, it pushes oil mist through the intake at high volume. That mist coats your MAF sensor, lines the intake manifold, and bakes onto the intake valves. And because direct injection never sprays fuel on those valves to clean them, you get carbon building up on a truck that never ran bad enough to warn you. So 2 things. First, replace the PCV valve every 40,000 miles. It's under 20 bucks. Shake it before you install it. A good one rattles. A stuffed one builds pressure and pushes oil where it shouldn't go. Second, and this is one of the best $50 investments you can make on an EcoBoost, an oil catch can. It installs between the PCV outlet and the intake. Catches that oil mist before it ever reaches your valves, and you just empty it every oil change. Not strictly required, but if your truck tows, idles a lot, or you're aiming for high mileage, it slows carbon buildup big time and keeps the MAF clean. Step 6. Decarbonize the engine right. Direct injection completely changed how these engines build carbon. On older port injection engines, fuel constantly washed the intake valves clean. On EcoBoost direct injection, fuel goes straight into the cylinder. It never touches the valves. So oil vapor bakes onto those hot, dry valves and hardens into deposits over time. And when that carbon builds up, you lose low-end torque. The idle gets inconsistent, throttle response goes sluggish, and you might hear some pinging under acceleration. The engine isn't worn out, it's choked. Big difference. For mild buildup, you can spray intake cleaner through the throttle body while it runs, then take it on a hard highway pull to clear the residue. But for real buildup, the correct fix is walnut blasting. A shop pulls the intake manifold and blasts the valve ports with crushed walnut shells. Aggressive enough to strip carbon, soft enough not to hurt the aluminum. I've done this on EcoBoost trucks at 80,000 miles that came out pulling like they had 50,000 again. Runs about 2 to 350 at a shop, and good top-tier gas slows it from coming back. Step 7. Protect the cooling system. Here's a truth that'll save you thousands. Engines don't die from age, they die from heat. And F-150 owners let coolant problems slide way too long because the truck keeps driving fine right up until the moment it doesn't. By 60,000 miles on an EcoBoost, your coolant's been through enough heat cycles that its protective additives are worn out. By 80,000 with no flush, you're running acidic coolant that's eating your aluminum passages and water pump seals from the inside. So change it every 5 years or 60,000 miles with the Ford-specified coolant. Universal green isn't always compatible. Open the reservoir and see rust, sludge, or an oily sheen. Flush it today. And watch for the warning signs, because catching them early is the difference between a cheap fix and a catastrophe. A small drip from the water pump weep hole. Most people ignore it until it's a puddle. Water pump and thermostat together is about 150 to 250 bucks. A warped head from the overheating that follows? 1,000 minimum. And the big one on EcoBoost. White smoke at startup that lingers, a sweet smell from the exhaust, coolant dropping with no puddle. That's coolant getting into the combustion chamber. Catch it there and a cooling service saves you. Ignore it and you're looking at 4 to 8 grand. I've watched people ignore that sweet smell for 3 months and drive straight into a new engine. Step 8. Check the data before spending a dime. This is where I see owners burn the most money. They feel something wrong, they go to a shop, the shop throws parts at it, the problem doesn't go away, and 2 months later, they're still paying. Modern F-150s are covered in sensors, and one small bad reading can make a perfectly healthy engine feel tired and sluggish. So before you replace anything, spend 20 minutes reading what the truck is actually telling you. A basic OBD2 scanner with live data is 30 to 50 bucks. Pull up your fuel trims. Anything outside plus or minus 10% means something's off, like a vacuum leak or a lazy MAF. And get this, a cracked vacuum hose costs $5, but the rough idle it causes gets misdiagnosed as a failing injector or a cam phaser all the time. I've watched owners spend $600 chasing a symptom that was a $12 vacuum hose. Here's a real one. A 2017 F-150 with the 5.0 came in averaging 14 miles per gallon. Owner had already thrown a new air filter and plugs at it, no codes. I hooked up a scanner, watched the live data for 10 minutes, and found a lazy downstream O2 sensor and a small vacuum leak. $60 in parts. He called me 2 days later. 24 miles per gallon, and the throttle felt like a completely different truck. Step 9. Exercise the engine. Short trips are slowly killing your F-150, and here's why. Engines need to get fully hot and stay there. Not just warm, fully at operating temperature, held long enough to burn off everything that built up during cold running. Short trips never get there, so moisture from combustion stays in your oil, unburned fuel sits in the crankcase, carbon builds faster, and your catalytic converter never gets hot enough to actually work. And on the EcoBoost specifically, short trips are brutal on the turbo. It spins up under boost, then the engine shuts off before it gets any cool-down airflow. Those seals take thermal cycles they weren't built for, and bearing life shortens gradually, invisibly, until it suddenly isn't gradual anymore. So once a week, take your truck on a 20 to 30 minute highway run. Get it fully up to temperature and hold it there. Let the oil get hot enough to cook off the moisture. Let the rings seal at proper temp. Let the exhaust reach the heat it needs. This costs nothing and takes 30 minutes, and it extends the life of your turbo, your rings, your oil, your cat, and every seal in the engine. Trucks that get exercised regularly feel sharper at 100,000 miles than ones that never leave the neighborhood. Step 10. Forscan. Reset the learned behavior. Ford already built diagnostic and calibration tools right into your truck. They just didn't give you access. So you can do every single step on this list and the truck still feels slightly off. Idle's a touch funny. Shifts are a little abrupt. Throttle's not quite right. That's usually not a worn part. It's the truck running on stale learned behavior that nobody ever reset. Forscan is free software and the adapter is about $25. It gives you the same calibration access the dealer uses. After you clean the throttle body, it forces the idle relearn properly instead of waiting on drive cycles. After you fix a rough running issue, it resets the 10-speed transmission's adaptives, because that transmission was compensating around your old rough idle and worn plugs, and it needs to learn the new baseline. After a battery swap, it resets the battery monitor so it charges the new one correctly. And here's the big one. Ford releases PCM and transmission calibration updates for specific drivability issues: rough idle, shift quality, fuel trims. A ton of trucks on the road right now are running software from 2019. Dealers apply these during warranty work and then forget about them. Forscan shows you what's available for your VIN. Most owners never do this. They service the truck, replace the parts, and then it keeps running on learned behavior built around problems that are already fixed. The owners who reset it tell me the truck drives like the day they bought it, because it basically does. So that's the whole system. 10 things, and most of them are cheap, some are free, and every one of them either makes your truck feel better right now or saves you from a repair bill down the road. Your F-150 probably isn't worn out. It's just been waiting for somebody to actually take care of it the right way. So tell me in the comments, which one of these are you doing first? And if you've got an F-150, drop the mileage on it. I'm curious how many high mileage trucks we've got watching. I read every comment.